number 40. We got 39 out there. It's the lost episode. That was about a month ago.
Yeah, I mean,
we didn't edit it yet.
Yeah, it's I was thinking about we'll do like a ultra super duper Christmas special where we'll have like a recap of all our best moments, for like 2019.
That'd be great.
Yeah, something like that.
Coming at you anyway, globally, nationally, and locally. Boy, we sure do miss you. I went to my brother's house the other day, and his grandson said, "Hey, it's the JoJo Show. It's here in the house." So that made me feel pretty good that a toddler's watching our show.
Yeah.
That's probably where it needs to be. All the toddlers we can catch on, maybe make a cartoon out of it. But we love coming to you. We've been a little delayed, dismayed, doing other things, working mainly, trying to hook up. Little Joe's in the process of pushing his music along. How's that coming? If you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about it. It's going pretty good. The goal is to get it in the hands of the people that are actually going to listen to it and possibly even play it. Whether they DJ or whether they're on a radio station or whether they're playing it for their friends and like, yo, check this out. So that's the goal.
What said music? What is it? What are you cataloging? What are you sending around? What is it? CD?
It's just a CD. Yeah,
okay.
It's just
how many tracks?
Just 4.
Four?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I like Apache. I think I like Apache.
Yeah, that's
the 4 tracks.
That's actually in the background. It's an Apache flying over. I think they were in Iraq, and they were flying over, and they were trying to get. They saw these guys on the ground, these terrorists on the ground.
Yeah,
and they had weapons, but the rules of engagement. I almost called it rules of engagement, but the rules of engagement were like hampering the guys in the Apache, and that's what kind of sucks. I mean, whether you for the war or against the war or whatever is irrelevant. When our boys are out there, hey man, let's win the damn thing.
Right.
I don't want to see somebody's cousin get blown off in the face because of incompetence. Not really as incompetence, but the whole rules of engagement, the big old chain of command. Why couldn't the Apache just blow the dudes up right there when he saw they were terrorists, they were armed?
Right.
Why has he got to go through some big old 4-minute long chain of command? And now they were all, so if you watch the video, they were all spread out by this point. And so by the time he got able to fire on them, they killed a couple of them, but they had them all congregated in one area at first.
Right. So you're saying the video comes, the CD comes with the video?
I since have lost that video. I don't know where it's at. I'm sure I could pull it up if I found it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just...
Well, it's a 4-track CD. I'm glad that you finally got it off the ground. And we'll be talking more about it as the show goes along and future shows. And man, it's a step in the right direction. I'm glad you're to this point, and never give up on that. Otherwise... Globally, I mean, what can you say? It's a lot going on out there. I think the Hong Kong protests are still going on.
No.
They're not?
They're shutting it down. China's doing their thing.
Okay.
I mean, look, the United States, you remember the silly Occupy Wall Street? That wasn't a real thing. If they had guys out there for real, like they're doing in France, like the Yellow Vest protest, if they had guys out there blocking roads in Washington and New York City and stuff like that, they'd all be hauled off and arrested too.
Right.
Now, granted, in China, when you get hauled off and arrested like that,
where are you going?
Yeah, they might.
You may never come back.
Exactly. You don't get no trial. You don't get no justice. You don't get no lawyer. You don't get to languish in prison for years and years, or you don't get no bail or nothing like that. Once they come haul you off, that's it. And that's the sad part about it, and that's what everybody's forgetting.
Right.
Whether you're believe it was a CIA coup attempt, and no CIA coup attempt is going to bring down China.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, if anything, it was just to sow unrest in Hong Kong and, just kind of like holding on, CIA, MI6, British intelligence, American whatever. Whatever the case is, they have since hauled a lot of these ringleaders off, and you probably might never see them ever again.
Okay. Well,
that's the sad part.
That's the sad part. Again, we miss you pre-Thanksgiving, post-Thanksgiving. We're hoping everybody had a happy holiday, happy Thanksgiving, a lot of turkey, a lot of football, a lot of family. We were all conducive to that all over from state to state. our family members from here to there. So we hope y'all had a safe, good holiday. And remember, Christmas time is about 18, 19 days away, I guess, now. So remember what Christmas is all about. Keep Christ in Christmas. If I can stand on the soapbox for that, don't let anybody take it away from you. And if they do, you can still practice it in your home unless your smart TV is monitoring everything you say and do, and it's going to the big satellite in the sky and say, they're talking about Christmas. They're having a Christmas feast. Let's go in there and throw a drone on there and blow them up, and no questions to be asked. So happy holidays again. Merry Christmas. I said Christmas with the C, and hope everybody has a safe and good one, and all you little ones get all your goodies that you're wanting. What else you got nationally besides anything?
Since you were talking that Christmas stuff on the Lost episode, which we'll put out here sooner or later.
Yeah.
You know,
everybody has to have a Lost episode.
On that episode, I was talking about how leftists, they want to get in there and they want to just destroy everything because they need a project. They need something to do. Once they got equal rights for all nationalities, they'll go equal rights for gays. And once they got the LGBT, and then they'll go the plus. And what is the plus? As far as for me, it's pedophilia. So, but I'm just trying to make a point. Leftists will destroy everything. They want, men, to let transgender men compete in women's sports. What sense does that make?
Yeah, man,
what sense does that
so
make?
Unfair.
So look, whether or not you believe in like the true what Christmas is really about, who invented Christmas. Some people say it's a pagan holiday. We observe a pagan holiday. You shouldn't be observing it. I know people personally that they don't celebrate Christmas. They don't let their kids celebrate Christmas. They'll have, they don't do it now, and they'll go all out for their birthdays or other holidays or whatever, and that's understandable. You do what you want. To me, our family doesn't sit around worshiping a pagan. You know what I'm saying? On Christmas. No. Our family doesn't sit around worshiping Baphomet and all these evil things that are supposed to go with Christmas. We have our family over. We have a nice dinner. We exchange gifts. It's like the things that you would do with and for your family that you wouldn't normally do any other day of the year, except for football games or other events. I mean,
right.
But, it brings families together. Whether or not you want to see your family, that's a whole other issue. That's not why I'm talking about this. But Christmas to me is a good thing because you're supposed to be with your family, and really, just like Thanksgiving, be thankful for the things that you have and the family and the family that you do have and the things that you do have.
How much do you think it is a time for giving?
It's the whole thing is a time for giving and getting, as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Especially if you're a little buckaroo, anywhere from zero all the way up to about 16, 17 years old. That's the fun part.
Yeah, and I mean the whole Santa Claus thing. It's fun. It's fun for the little kids.
Yeah.
Some idiot parents, they don't they don't provide that experience for their children.
Right.
Look. I called them idiots. Hey, man, knock yourself out. Do what you want with your own child. But in our house, we still kind of, my kid's older, but we still kind of, wink, keep the tradition alive, because I remember when I really quit believing in Santa Claus, I quit receiving Santa Claus.
Yeah, you gotta do that. That's what I was wondering. But anyway, we got the large demographic. I always talk about it. I'm real proud, and I'm real hopeful to the family from California all the way to Japan, if you can figure that, Florida, Kansas, Nebraska. Now Arkansas, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law are moving to Arkansas with the Union Pacific train, or the Georgia Pacific, or whatever. But anyway, long story short, Merry Christmas to all, and we're going to have a lot of better good nights here pretty soon. But there's one thing I wanted to say, if I stray off a little bit, I don't know, maybe this is a rant. Richard, help me out. But there was a new gas station that opened up in the suburb we live here, or the city, Denham Springs, and I went in there, and it was real nice, sparkling. The pumps are clean. And, hell, I was the only one there. There's about 8 or 9 pumps, and I was the only one there. And they had some, the workers behind the counter. And, well, to tell you the truth, they were a little loud and boisterous, I guess, excited that the place has opened up. But the lady said, "What brings you on?" So I said, "What brings you on? What brings you on?" So I thought maybe she might have been a French dialect or whatever, but I looked at all the long fingernails and the braids in the hair, and I said, no, that might be. But I mean, you go down to Lafayette and New Iberia and stuff like that. The people down that way speak a lot of French and Cajun and stuff like that. Well, bonjour. So I kind of figured I put it together. I had my $20 bill. I was filling up the OPRV there, but I mean, I realized she was saying, what pump are you on?
Yeah, and for anybody that don't know what the PRV, Joe drives this van now,
Yeah.
and I call it the pet rescue vehicle because
Yeah.
that's exactly what it looks like. That's his work van, and I call it the PRV, the pet rescue vehicle, because look, hey, if there's a hurricane or whatever, that's going to be
Call
our
me.
business, yeah, for the next year.
Right.
We'll load them up with those pet carriers and go down there and save all the pets for $20-$30 a pop.
That's it. That's it. It's got 4 doors, and it'll hold everything, even the big ones. But yeah, so I kind of figured out what she was saying, and so I just held up my hand. $20. I handed her the $20, and very precariously, and then on pump 5, I held my hand up. So I figured, I mean, come on, man. James Brown is one of my heroes. My boys introduced me to rap musically when they were teenagers, or earlier than that. I mean, it was just a genre of music that they were into. But bottom line is what bonjour. That kind of threw me off. So, I mean, you got a new business going, you're hiring help and everything like that. Maybe to me, I just thought to myself, but hey, I'm an old guy, Well, not that old. I'm 65, the new 45. But, I mean, bottom line is what bonjour? That means, what pump are you on, sir? Okay? But I thought I'd throw that out there. I'm sure Richard, a local radio personality here in the area, would agree with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so look, let's go through the memes real quick. You want the truth? The
triple truth.
The massive surveillance state isn't about finding terrorists. It's about protecting the elites from you. Militarizing the police isn't about protecting you from terrorists. It's about protecting the elites from you. Gun control isn't about stopping crime or protecting children. It's about protecting the elites from you. Socialism isn't about making everyone equal. It's about making you dependent on the elites for survival. It's about protecting the elites from you. That's it. Okay. Now.
Wow.
Hold up.
Can you elaborate on that last one? What you just said?
What you mean?
It's protecting what?
It's protecting the elites.
Okay.
All the things that, that they say it's supposed to be protecting you. No, it's protecting them from you.
Right. Okay. I got you. You.
Hold on.
The elites meaning being?
Yeah,
Yeah.
How about this? Hey, I saw a good one. Here's this one. At age 18, they will let you commit to $200,000 in student loans, but won't give you a $20,000 business loan.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
All right. So look here. Hold up. I got some more.
Well, Bernie said, or somebody said, they're going to abolish all the student loan debt. One of those idiots.
I got one for Bernie. Bernie Sanders walks into a bar and yells, "Free drinks for everyone. Who's buying?"
I like that.
Hold on. I got some more. Got a few
Yeah,
more.
about what the Democratic thing. Kamala dropped out.
Oh, my God.
And then Booker said, Reverend Al Sharpton, the Reverend, what is Reverend of what? But, or a reverence of anyway. But, and, he was James Brown's manager at one time. But anyway.
Yeah, I looked
he said that the blacks are out, They were just
what?
knocking out the blacks in the presidential races. There's not going to be a black left. Booker had to cry and beg for more money, and he's still out there. They got a nickname for Booker.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it is. It's
Yeah.
irrelevant. Okay, here we are. Odd it is that the Nazis were National Socialists that tore down statues, banned free speech, blamed economic hardships on one
Burned
group of
books.
people, instituted gun control, put the state before God, nationalized the health care, placed strict government regulations on industry. Does this sound like the policies of a current political party in the United States?
Yeah, very much so. Okay, today Nancy said that they're going to proceed with the impeachment thing.
Oh, God.
They have no leg to stand on.
No, they don't. They're just.
It is a circus, man. It is a shameful circus, man. Do something for your city, man. Come on.
They're trying to keep the charade going. The fact is that like there's no factual witnesses. Republicans, they're not allowed to call their own witnesses. The whistleblower not allowed to testify. Witness gagged and not allowed to answer questions by a Republican. What is evident is that the Democrats can't get over the 2016 election and know they're going to lose in 2020. Impeachment is their only option. Thankfully, this is a win for the whole apparatus that, what Trump is. And the Democrats are damned if they do and damned if they don't at this point.
Yeah.
Because the President of the United States is, in my humble opinion, insulated by the Senate. They're not, this impeachment thing is not going to go anywhere. It's just not, they're just doing it to get on TV at this point.
Well, at this point they are, and then those that are still running or filling their coffers for Christmas, for sure, to the Democrats, Joe Biden, all those, they can battle each other out. I don't believe they're going anywhere. But I mean, 24/7, 365 for the past 3 years, Trump has been going through this, and I got to commend him. If you don't like what I'm saying out there, realize that he's still on the job each and every day doing what he's got to do, and that's a plus factor for me to be putting up with that garbage and malarkey for all this time and still trying to run the country and if you want to call him Make America Great Again, whatever, but he is doing something that they're not doing. They're not doing anything except persecuting him, almost crucifying him in some spots, and around this time you can figure out what I'm trying to say here.
Right.
But
I Biden, I don't know, maybe we'll put the video on, okay, Biden was at a town hall or something, and some guy got in his face and started trying to call the whole corruption thing into it. I don't know. It was kind of circled on the internet. I mean, it's probably old news by now, but anyway, I mean, and then Biden, he I saw him at one of his other campaigns. He's touting his strongness, like on the economy during the Obama administration, and I'm like, look, I personally have never depended on one man to fix my whole economic situation, because the Octagonist truth is that 75% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. It's not an income problem. It's not the rich man's fault. It's not the system's fault. You spend too much money per year. That's what it is. That's it. You spend too much money. You go into the movies when you shouldn't go to the movies.
I don't do
You're
the
going
movies.
out to eat. I'm not talking about you, man.
Okay.
People going to the movies. People buying these big old stupid trucks that they don't need to get back and forth to work, to shine around all shiny and go to the mall and stuff like that, okay? Like, people are just doing stupid things with their money, and then they sit there and complain, I can't make it mean, man. It's so hard to live out here in America. No, it's because this culture we have in America makes it acceptable for you to feel like you got to go buy something every time you get paid.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. The only thing you really got to buy is food and make sure your utilities and so on,
Yeah.
But for the most part, you don't have to buy all this stuff that you go buy when you get paid.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is
put it away.
Quit if you're these politicians that keep blaming the rich man and the system and capitalism and stuff like that. That's not the fault of the rich man and capitalism.
Yeah.
If anything, you're doing better, and you are doing good because of the rich man and capitalism.
Well, I'm
sorry.
I mean, and that's just the way it is, man. Think if you got a raise or if you got a better job. Would you put that extra money that you got after everything's paid across the board and you do have that big truck and you do have all the luxuries and amenities of living, would you go put that extra cash into maybe a college fund? Would you go put it pay that truck off, and would you go put it? No, you'd be spending. You'd go out to eat more. You'd invite me over. You'd invite your friends over and let eat and put the dog on for every football game or every celebrated holiday. But I mean, nah, it's not going to happen, man. There's just too much money out there. Too much money to be spent. The thriving U.S. economy, the richest in the world. You can say what you want. And that leads us down to where we started last show, but didn't get it out there, was football.
Yeah.
Are we ready for football yet?
Yeah, we're ready. We're
Okay.
ready. Go ahead.
We got to watch our time. Okay. What we did, we alluded to the episode that we didn't edit. It'll come out probably after this one if you get the time. But I mean, we alluded to the fact that we were pre-rivalry week.
It was before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So we had already
had a couple of games.
Yeah, but
down.
I can't remember if it was even before Oklahoma, TCU,
Yeah.
or LSU. Who'd they play before A&M? They played somebody. Oh, Arkansas.
Arkansas, yeah, and
that wasn't no
because
game.
they wouldn't go. And I think they didn't cover. And that's the moniker on the Tigers, didn't cover, but they had 8 touchdowns. So and then they did cover against A&M this past week. And we're bringing you to college football. You say that it's regular season, then you have the rivalry week. Everybody wants a playoff, and now you have the conference championship week. So,
Okay.
yeah, if you're going to do maybe a playoff game, let's get rid of all those cupcakes that you play. Play all conference games. See if you can get through your conference undefeated and do that. And then maybe you could have a playoff system set up for 8 teams.
Okay.
But what about number 9?
Here's my thing. We go through this every year, okay? And this is how stupid the whole mindset is, because they wouldn't do this for any other team now. If LSU were to lose to Georgia, why would they go ahead and put LSU back in the playoff at the 4th spot and put Georgia at number 1 just because they won the SEC? Why would they do that? They wouldn't. I mean, once Georgia, if now I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Yeah.
If Georgia were to beat LSU now, why would LSU get in just because they have one loss? Didn't they just play Georgia, and you're now going to put them back in a scenario where they could potentially play each other again?
Yeah.
And not give anybody else a shot? Now, if you're a Tiger fan, you're like, yeah, well, it should because we only have one loss. Okay, put the shoe on the other foot. As far as, like, you're with one loss already in that 4th, 5th spot, and you got an undefeated Texas or an undefeated Ohio State, and they lose their championship game. Are you going to be saying the same thing? Well,
Yeah.
they lost their conference champion, but they still should get a chance to play.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to be saying that. You're not going to be saying that. So, look, here's something that I looked up. Joe, bear with me, because this is going to take a few minutes. Here's something I looked up, and I just want to throw this out there for Tiger fans. I'll tell you right off the bat, I don't think LSU's going to lose. I'll tell you right off the bat, I don't think LSU's going to lose. Let's go back to the Auburn game. LSU won that game 23-20. They were at Tiger Stadium.
It was a good game.
Georgia beat Auburn at Auburn, okay?
Okay.
Georgia, total defense, is 4th in the nation.
Wow,
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Georgia total defense, SEC now, 4th in the nation. Auburn, total defense, number 20.
Wow.
Okay, now, granted, Georgia has not played Alabama, but they've played Florida. They beat them. They played Auburn.
Right.
Sound like a team you know?
Yeah.
Sound like a team you know?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Pass defense, Georgia is number 15.
Okay.
They're allowing 186 yards per game pass defense.
I think
Okay?
Joe will change that to about 286.
Clemson is number 1. Ohio State is number 2. And believe it or not, Notre Dame is number 3. Alabama's actually number 11, but
Pass defense.
Georgia for sure has played a tougher schedule. I want to say I looked up this week, Georgia's strength of schedule was at 36.
Okay.
LSU's was like a 23 or something.
Okay.
Let's look at third down conversion percentage defense. Georgia is number 7.
Okay.
So they're getting off the field faster. Okay?
Okay.
So they're number 7. Now, granted, LSU, third down defense, right next to us at number 12. Oklahoma's number 13 at third down defense, which that shocks me.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Rush defense, all of NCAA. Georgia's number 2
Wow.
behind Utah at 71 yards per game.
Ooh.
71 yards per game. And they've played some pretty decent run-oriented teams this year.
Yeah.
You know?
In the East. I mean, if you
So-
played Auburn in Florida, I
So
would have to say those
you're
are two
looking
good
at
games.
that. Now, offensively, they're not really lighting up the charts.
No.
But they're not bad either, and they have a veteran quarterback. And they're not supposed to win. you know, when you go out there and you're not supposed to win, hey, what does it matter? You're not supposed to win anyway, right?
And I think LSU's favored by at least 7. I think that Big Steve told me that the other day. If I stand corrected, let us know.
Here's a stat. Hold up. Here's a stat that nobody ever looks at, but is very important. Net punting. Net punting. That means when they snap the ball and punt the ball, they're going to pin you back. Now, I know LSU could go on these 4 plays, 80-yard drives. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you're not playing Arkansas and you're not playing Ole Miss this week, okay?
Yeah.
So, and you're not playing old Texas A&M, and we'll get to them later.
Oh, man.
Georgia
Sorry, Cody.
is number 4 net punting with net punting average of 42.94 yards. That's almost half the field.
Yeah.
They could be at the 20 and kick
pin you
it
down
in
back there.
back there at like the 20 or the 30
Yeah.
if they get a good bounce.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, keep that in mind. Listen, do I think LSU's going to lose the game? No.
No.
Do I think it's going to be a lot closer than everybody expects? Yes. Now, if LSU will go out there and blow them out, kudos to them. Joe Burrow's going to win the Heisman either way.
Right.
You know, but I'm just saying, a lot of LSU fans I know think they already got this in the bag. They don't. They're going to have to come bring their A game because Georgia is a team that if you don't do everything right, they will beat you. They've been there. This is their 3rd straight SEC championship in a row. They won the first one, lost the second one to Alabama.
Yeah.
Now they're in the 3rd one, and they're not supposed to win.
Right.
LSU's been in this situation before. It's always the team, usually, it's usually always the team that's not supposed to win that gives that team that is supposed to win a run for their money. It's happened to Alabama. It's happened to Florida. It's happened to LSU in the past.
I think those stats that you read is really conducive of a great season that they had. I just don't respect Kirby, not so smart that much. I've seen him do some goofy things, and I just don't think that they have the offensive moxie to deal with LSU. Last year, LSU beat them with 5 field goals. I think it was a 20-point win. But the bottom line, LSU is more explosive. They have more weapons than I say Georgia does. Fromm has to look at 1 receiver, 2 receiver. I don't think he's agile, and his ability to run is as good as Joe's. But, I think the Tigers won't beat the spread. It's going to be close, and I look for the Tigers to win. I think if LSU wins this one, they got a good chance to win it all. I know you guys picked them, Big Steve, Gary, Thumper. Y'all picked them all to be in the CFP, and here they are. They got a chance to do it. But they do have that, like Little Joe alluded at the start of this football talk, that if LSU loses, that just changes the whole thing, because you got to have the conference champion, and if LSU loses, there would be that one game. It just puts that all in a lot of perspective, and that's what a lot of other people, Tiger fans, are saying. You just didn't hear it first in suburban of Denham Springs from the JoJo Show. Wake up and realize 12-0 doesn't mean anything if you don't win that championship.
You're right.
I don't care what awards you win or this or that. We've been there following our team over the years and alluding to our team. We'll get to them to the end. But who is Clemson playing the ACC?
They're playing Virginia.
Okay, Virginia.
I want to say they played them earlier in the season, and they beat them pretty soundly.
Yeah, everybody says Clemson doesn't play anybody. The ACC is weak. Let's say they are, but they do play somebody, because to go 12-0, cupcakes or whatever, to go 12-0, that's a tough thing to do week in, week out. They're silently decimating teams by at least 30 points per game. I think their point average winning since they played South Carolina.
Clemson's been there.
Yeah.
4 years in a row.
Yeah.
They've been to the playoffs 4 years in a row.
Excuse me, North Carolina.
They have a tremendous fan base that travels well.
Yeah.
We've never beat them. Oklahoma as a university never beat them.
Right.
And last time LSU played them, they didn't beat them.
Yeah.
You know, and you still got that same coaching apparatus, Brent Venables.
Yeah. They have class.
Dabo Sweeney. You got,
Dabo.
It's all the same coaching staff and all that stuff. And they had Dabo Sweeney interviewing him. He's hot. he was like getting all flustered that
you
that
know
his
why?
team ain't getting no respect yet because
Right.
they give all it to the SEC.
Well, there's not getting a lot of respect, and he's up there saying he's playing anybody. I don't care if I'm 12-0 and I'm ranked number 3 and I'm going to the CFP regardless of what happens, and that could be Virginia, the greatest upset ever. But, I mean, I am not downtrodden that I'm not going to be a head coach in this day and time and say, we don't play anybody. Nobody likes us. I'm not going to say all that. I'm going to say we're 12-0. We went through our conference. We're in the championship game. We have a chance to get to see them. All positive, all that. We're this, we're that. We're not this. That leads more credence to the committee. Oh, so that's the way the coach feels? Well, fine. If that's the way he feels, we'll kick him out, regardless of if they go 13-0.
Yeah.
And they win their conference.
Yeah.
But I think it comes down to the Power Fives, and you got to have your conference champion. Okay, what about Pac-12?
Yeah, well, speaking of the committee, it's
Yeah.
now granted that if Utah wins out, which I think Oregon's going to beat them, I think Oregon's got the best shot to beat them.
Go Ducks.
If Utah wins out and Oklahoma wins out, then that starts the debate, well, who played
Yeah.
the tougher games, who played the tougher schedule.
Yeah.
And it's not even close. Oklahoma's definitely got it because they would have played and beat Baylor
Right.
twice.
Everybody
they
feels
played
the same
Oklahoma
way.
State. Teams that, they might not
Even
have finished.
Yoda.
They might not have finished ranked, but they got the top 30 wins. They got, 2, 3. If they beat Baylor this weekend, they'll have 3, against the right now top 30. LSU's got 4. They'll have 5 if they beat Georgia. Georgia's got 3. They'll have 4 if
Yeah.
they beat LSU. So this weekend, here we are, the last weekend of
That's
college
it.
football. This is like do or die for all these teams.
Right.
And Ohio State's Fields is hurt.
Yeah.
Anything can happen with that.
Yeah.
What if they lose?
Yeah. Well,
what if
yeah.
they lose?
Yeah, I think that playing Wisconsin again, it was rainy that day. They decimated Wisconsin. I don't know.
Wisconsin doesn't have
They-
I don't think they got anything that could beat Ohio State.
Then you have that defensive stalwart, that kid that was suspended and he came back
yeah.
and this and that. He is all out.
No,
Let me
he
tell
is
you,
good.
at 6'6".
He's a big monster
I mean,
out there
Yeah,
on the field.
yeah, man. I mean, it's hard to get him. I just think they beat Wisconsin again on a on a clear day, whether it be cold up there for sure. But I mean, getting back to the Pac-12, the Pac-12 doesn't get much respect. You're always looking for USC. Then you look for Oregon. Then Utah had made some of the top tens when we started this football talk before the season started. I say, where's Utah at? And Utah's always been in there. They've got a great coach. A couple of
Right.
years ago, they smashed Bama in the Sugar Bowl. But Alabama never gets up for bowl games when they're playing for third and fourth place, Nick. Well, we understand that. But, I mean, you do get beat. And you try to go out there. You try to win the game. But, I mean, bottom line is that I think Oregon does it. I think Oregon
so,
upsets the apple cart. I think
so, too.
Utah is tough. Don't get me wrong. They are tough. That's a mean football. I'm looking for that coach.
Whittingham?
For some of the coaching carousels opening up, I'm looking for that coach to eventually make it down
He's
here
been in
this
Utah,
way.
He's been in Utah forever. They're not. Whittingham's not going anywhere.
Okay. All right.
That's
all
what
right.
I truly do believe. Why would you leave and go start over
Well,
at his age?
Well, Lane Kiffin may go to Arkansas or Ole Miss. Where would you
goodness.
go?
If I had to pick,
Yeah.
like if I was a hot coach and
Yeah.
Florida State.
Well, yeah, Florida State would be the thing, but would you?
You're in the ACC and you're in Florida.
Okay,
You know?
I understand that. But okay, the SEC is knocking on his door hard. Ole Miss or Arkansas. If you were Lane Kiffin, where would you go?
Oh,
Hotty toddy?
Wait. Between Ole Miss and Arkansas?
Yeah.
Oh, hotty toddy all the way.
Yeah.
Hotty toddy. Gosh
Yeah,
almighty, when
yeah.
are we going to beat somebody?
Yeah, I always respected Lane Kiffin. I don't care. He was a young guy. I like to admonish.
I didn't.
I admonish. I admire young guys that start up. His daddy was the coach. He got his coaching. He's been chasing football since he was in diapers, like you guys did at one time. And I believe that Lane is he has his things. He coached under God there with Saban and all that stuff, and went through that raft. And, he went to where he's at now, and I believe it's time for him to move on. And I think he can make a definite presence here in the SEC, whether you can beat Alabama, whether you can get out of the West besides LSU, Alabama, and Auburn. That remains to be seen, especially if you go to Arkansas or Ole Miss. All right, that leaves us with the who else is out there? The ACC, Pac-12. Big Ten. We got Herbie State. I think they'll take over
Yeah, we
Wisconsin.
already told you. We both think LSU's going to win.
Yeah, LSU should
they'll
win.
They'll win.
Yeah, they will win.
It's going to be close.
They
but they'll
will win. I think that Joe, what they said, the pass defense for Georgia is 186. Joe probably get 286. And if that running game is less than 75 yards, I think
It was hilly.
the
I
running
could see
game,
him getting
LSU's
100.
running game
I
gets
could see
about
him getting
100. 125, which is enough to compliment. But
Yeah.
you know what? I watched LSU. They don't do much play action off that. He's just cocking back, sitting back there, looking at 3 or 4 receivers. And I think the best offensive play out there and best pass routes to me are send everybody out and you got somebody underneath, whether it be the tight end or one of the wideouts coming underneath. You got 6-7 yards right there and you're getting the yak. But what disappoints me a lot of college football, you got 3rd and 9 and they throw a 3rd and 6, okay, completed. Or something like, or to run out before the flag and you got 4th and 2 or 4th and 8. I think that's dumb football, but I think LSU executes. I think Fromm can get the job done. But I think LSU's just going to come with everything but the kitchen sink. They have to. You have to throw it all on the line to win the championship. So I believe LSU Tiger fans, don't get me wrong, I might have a different hat on. That's my team. But, I mean, I'm just picking LSU to do it.
Yeah,
As far as my team,
Yeah.
Baylor, again.
Right. Yeah, we'll beat them. It was the only reason that game was close in the first go around because he turned the ball over 3 times.
3 times.
You know,
Gave up a touchdown in the end zone.
No, yeah, and we were driving those 3 times.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
except for that one time where we turned the ball over, where Hurts turned the ball over on our side of the field, it led to 3 easy scores for Baylor.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we was like, okay, we could still beat these guys, and we did. We came back in Waco and beat them.
A complete second-half shutdown. If you followed Oklahoma football, if you had a chance to watch it, the past 3 or 4 games, they've been close, a margin real close, less than 7 points here and there, come back, overtime, this and that and the other. But, I mean, I don't even know if there was overtimes, but they've shut these teams down in the second half. And that's a telling tale, and these have been ranked teams, so to speak. But, I mean, the defense has gotten better. If you know anything about Oklahoma, and y'all all do, it's always been offense. I think Jalen Hurts has been a compliment. He's made a few mistakes down the I think he's so lackadaisical to me, but he's so that's an option offense they're running there. That, don't get me wrong, they could line up in the wishbone. It's an option offense that Oklahoma runs, and he's finding more receivers now. And I believe the defense is gelling. They, like I said, he is number 1 in a couple of categories and number 2 and 3 behind Joe here at LSU. So I believe OU does it. I think the spread is 10. I'm looking for hopefully OU covers the spread this time, a different feel, and does what they need to do. I think Baylor's not a bad team. Don't get me wrong. They'll be up for it. You know, it's hard to beat somebody 2 times in the season, but it can be done, and I believe Oklahoma has their destiny set. They've made it dramatic, lost that game when they shouldn't have lost, and now here they are at number 6 trying to get in, and I believe they do get in. They got my vote.
Oklahoma's total defensive rank is out of all the 120 teams is 26. That's statistically better than I thought coming from last year, which we were on the very last page. We were we were in the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
We're at now 26, giving up only 336 yards per game out of 12 games.
How much rushing are we giving them?
I can't.
Okay.
I can't
yeah,
see
that's
I can look that up, but I mean, there's
number
no point.
26.
Yeah, 26 total defense.
I think last year we're 105. Yeah,
And while we're on the defense thing, let me go ahead and throw out scoring defense. And guess who's number 2, giving up only 10.4 points a game?
Georgia.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is not going to be easy for LSU. You know, bring
They're
the A game,
explosive,
bring
man.
the people. You know, bring the house. You better be ready.
LSU is silently explosive, man.
They are.
Before
I'm
it's 28-0.
Right. I'm not taking anything away from LSU.
Oh,
I'm just saying. I'm giving you some stats that, Auburn, with their great defense, is giving up 18.6.
Right.
These guys are giving up 10.4. They're up there only behind Clemson.
Wow.
And I know they're in front of Utah and Ohio State.
Wow.
Now, that ain't no accident.
Yeah.
They're doing that in the SEC, that mighty SEC.
Right.
You know,
Right.
So
And that's the East. They played
Right.
most of their games. Don't get me wrong.
right. So
The East is least in the SEC. If you had to, give a comparison on it to the West, that's for sure. Everybody knows that.
Oklahoma's 52 at 24.7 points. a
Okay,
game.
that's a whole lot better than last year. It was 30 plus last year.
We're giving up 40 points a game.
Yeah,
40, 42
and that's
or
the Big
something.
12. I mean, you're going to give what the Big 12's all about.
So
Points.
Friday night, 7 p.m. Now this is a Friday night game. Utah and Oregon. I don't know where they're playing that game. Do you know where they're playing that game?
No, I don't know.
Okay, Saturday, 7 p.m., Ohio State, Wisconsin. That's probably got to be a Fox. Of course, everybody knows LSU, Georgia, Saturday, 3 p.m.
On CBS.
on CBS.
Okay.
6:30 p.m. is Virginia and Clemson.
Okay.
And 11 a.m., of course,
Well, of course.
Oklahoma and Baylor.
No matter when they put it.
Oh, and don't forget, I guess it's Conference USA, Cincinnati and Memphis, which is kind of funny because they just played each other last week.
Yeah.
There's also Hawaii and Boise, but I just think that's a regular game.
Yeah, I know.
Also,
that
guess
Boise
who's
has-
in the conference championship I guess that's the Southland? ULL.
Yeah, ULL.
The Raging Cajuns versus Appalachian State.
Yeah. ooh,
Also, you have the MAC, which is Miami of Ohio and Central Michigan. And let's not forget about whatever conference this is with UAB and Florida Atlantic.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
there we go. There's your slate. If you say, hey, ain't no good football on this weekend, well, no, you're wrong.
That's what I'm saying. The playoff season is here for college football. I mean, you can go ahead and play 10 games, and they'd play 2 or 3 playoff games. It wouldn't matter. I think they need, like Urban Meyer was saying, to go ahead and play all the conference games and get rid of those cupcakes. I'd like to give some shout-outs to Eddie, my buddy down there in Woodhigh, Texas, purchased a new home for him and his young family. Congratulations, Eddie. Heath Mendoza, Jarhead, Lance Corporal, still in Japan, protecting the Chicago Cane. Was great to see you on this last visit for Thanksgiving. Looking good, looking good. Hope everything goes your way.
Yes.
Keep those toasts buttered down up there in Kansas City. He said he buttered 1,400 pieces of toast the other day. They were so busy. And Burke's Construction, residential, commercial, interior, exterior, from the ground up. Nicholas Burke's Construction. A class in himself, if you ask me, as a young man in a construction company, remodeling, new construction, anything. It does a real great job. It's Christmas time out there, people. Spread it around. Keep Christ in
Pass
Christmas.
it around.
Yeah, pass it around
Pass it
Baton
around.
Rouge.
Yeah.
But anyway, what else you got, Joe?
I just want to tell you, thank everybody for watching. We had a little break. I mean, we wasn't trying to take a break. It happened, man. Life gets in the way. Joe's busy, I'm busy.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to really step it up here in 2020, the rest of 2019, and we hope to come with you every week. We got a couple of ideas in the work. We're going to probably upgrade some of the equipment, be able to take this show on the road.
Yeah.
And maybe we could do it at a restaurant here or a restaurant there, or at like a landmark somewhere. We'll be out in the middle of somewhere. It'll be, we'll be on location.
We need to get to the Pasta Garden there, too saucy. Again, I promised that guy we'd get there, and then we got another couple of venues that we're looking at. But we hope everybody has a good, safe holiday. I think Black Friday's over. Doesn't matter anymore. Now it's time to put gifts under the tree. Trees are up, and planning your day. When is Christmas anyway? Is it on
I think it's a Wednesday.
a Wednesday? So that means everybody be off Thursday and Friday. Not. I got deadlines I got to meet before Christmas and after Christmas. But demographic across the U.S., we love y'all. Little ones, drink all your milk and say your prayers.
All right.
See ya.
Later.